What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gravity the Beast. Welcome back to the Big Cap. No bullshit, just conversations about passions, philosophies, and perspectives. So I got some homies here with me today. You already know. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
No, Twan, OG, real nigga.
Right. Bendu.
It's your guy Bendu. What's good, y'all? First time on the show. Excited.
Good to have you.
It's
Good
your
to
man
have you.
Ready to-
Shiziano up in this bitch, Philly boy, all crazy.
Hey.
Yo,
Philly
why every Philly nigga gotta make it sound Italian? What you said?
Shiziano.
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 I remember like your rap name used to be Simba Capone.
Facts.
We like everybody was
Facts.
doing that. But all right. So today's subject is interesting, and I feel like I'm gonna end up having this be another subject when we do another pod, but double standards, right? There are so many different types of double standards that we have just in life, in society, in different societies and cultures, depending on where you are, how you came up, what your history is, right? So, like, some of the easy ones that come to mind would be how a woman, an attractive woman specifically, may be able to go to a club and she can get in for free, whereas a man, even attractive men, a majority of the time, outside of being a celebrity, will have to pay. And then on the flip side, if a guy were to have sex with a bunch of women, he's looked at as a stud, the player, the boss dude, whatever. Whereas if the girl has sex with a bunch of people, she's a whore. A guy could walk outside shirtless. A woman walks outside shirtless. It's inappropriate. So, like, we look at all these different things.
Is
and
that
all
a
these-
double standard or is that just nature?
Well, no, because in certain aspects of nature, certain cultures, like there were certain cultures in Africa where
True.
the breasts aren't necessarily sexualized to that degree, and everyone is just shirtless. So it comes down to where you are, your culture, and how you interact, right? But I feel like double standards are a motherfucker, right? Like one of the ones that I feel is most important, and we could get onto lighter ones also, but having children. The double standard of we both have a choice in whether or not we have sex. Man, woman, come together, somebody has to give consent. But from the point of conception, women have all the power. It's a double standard. It's fucked up. If a woman were to have a baby, if she said, I want to have this baby, I want to have this baby. She's pregnant. You maybe both of y'all agree y'all not gonna have no kids. Both of y'all agree on abortion. She gets pregnant and she's like, I want to keep this baby. You can't get an abortion. You can't take the plan B yourself. All you could do is wear a condom, right? That woman could say she wants to have the baby up until the point that the baby is born. She has the option to leave him at a firehouse or a hospital, and that baby will be taken into the system. No harm, no foul on her part.
And this is why I will vote for any politician that fucking passes legislation that gives public option for the man to opt out of having that kid.
See, and that is one thing, right? But then taking it further, right? We don't hear about this often, but if a woman...
Because it's normalized.
Well, no, it is normalized to a point, but what I was about to say is, if a woman decides that she has this baby and she doesn't want the baby, she can get rid of it. Even worse, right? Another step. I heard about this story. I think it was like North Carolina or something like that, or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas, right? There was a father who had a baby with his significant other at the time. The woman gave the child up for adoption without his consent. He had to fight to get his child back.
Oh, I would have smacked that bitch.
Next thing you know, he finds out his kid had got adopted by a family in California. So he spent a year or two or however long it was fighting. He eventually got his kid back, but he did not have a say in that. Flip the scenario, the dude can't do that shit.
Hell no.
But what do we get told? Oh, it takes two to make a baby. It takes two to make that decision. It's not, or you have responsibilities.
And it's always like
responsibilities without authority.
But even the onus. So in that situation where the woman doesn't want the baby, the onus and is always put on the man. So it's not like when the woman says she doesn't want a baby, it's like, well, you lay down and had that. But when it's the man that doesn't want the baby, you know, like they don't say like, so they'll say that to men, like you lay down with him and her or whatever. They'll say that to men, but they never say that shit to fucking women at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everybody says, well, hey, you decided to put it in. You decided to spread your legs, though. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Well, what's your thoughts, Twan? And then I want to hear from you, too, Sean.
I feel like when it comes to double standards, right, the whole aspect of it I feel like it comes down to
Try to raise your voice, son.
when you're not recognizing the differences of nature, the differences between shit, and instead of accepting who you are, you get mad at the other side. And I feel like society has made it such an issue where a lot of times when it comes to double standards for women, they're allowed to complain about double standards where men aren't.
You know, I want to elaborate on that, but what's your thoughts, Sean?
I look at it like this. If a man don't want to have a baby, I feel as though, of course, you should have a conversation with the other instead of just you making the the conscious decision to do whatever you want to do. Because at the end of the day, it takes two to tango type shit.
Wait,
It's
but
not just
isn't
you.
the woman at all points going to make the conscious decision that she's going to do what she wants to do?
I was going to touch on that because the reason why she's going to make that decision, and the government and the eyes of the society and all that make it seem like it's the woman's decision because she's the one giving birth to that baby. She's the one carrying that baby. She's the one doing all the labor and all the extra shit. That's all they're looking at, in my opinion. They're not looking at the fact that it took me to do this. It took my nut to get you pregnant. It took me all of that time, like even if it was just 2 motherfucking minutes.
And it's gonna take my money to raise.
It's gonna take me busting my ass and my money and my labor and my time to put towards that child. And at the same time, you can stay at home all day and just be with the kid, but the government's gonna put that all on my shoulders. In the same time, like we ain't gonna get too personal. We already know I know too much about this shit, so it's like, yo, like, nigga, it's not just. It's like it making it seem like, nigga, I had the baby. It's my fault that she got pregnant. It's my fault. It's my fault. This my fault. That, and she's just the one that's like, oh, I gotta have it. I get all of that, but I look at it from try to be as transparent as possible. Like, yes, I understand what a woman has to go through to even want to have that baby. Even if they go through abortion, that's even in my opinion, that's
Worse.
fucking worse, bro.
Yeah.
That's worse. Because at the end of the day, taking a possible life that could be here away. So I understand what a woman would go through with that. So with me, I try to be as transparent as possible. Try to be in the middle, in the gray area as possible. But I understand how the government really be fucking the homo, fucking the shit out of the man most of the time. Like it's like it's drawing, bro. I know it's drawing.
Especially
I just got a
black
letter. You say it's a big cat. We gonna keep it a buck,
Facts.
bro. I got a letter yesterday, man.
All right. Well, like, what was the letter from? What was it pertaining to?
All right, it was from It was from the social services. The government.
Okay.
I'm on child. I'm have to go to court for child support, which my baby mom told me that she didn't want to put me on child support. And I gave the letter to my mom. I was chilling with my shorty now, and I was like, I don't want to bend my mood. I was just happy as shit. I came in the crib from a hot box, pissed. My mom handed me a letter. You know what I'm saying? And that was when I read it, and it's saying it's going to literally, basically all I got from it is going to go through my shit, see how much I make to equivalent how much they're going to take from me to go towards her, towards the baby. At the same time, I take
You said it right. Towards her.
towards her, and I take care of my child. So it's like if we go to court, she said this is my only like window.
Yeah.
When, because she told me this is just off of verbatim. Like, same thing, if I tell y'all I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. This is what I was told, because we live on that plane. She told me that, I'm gonna opt out, tell them I don't want to have child support. We can work.
Wait, hold up. So did the government hit you of their own volition, or did she set it up for them to hit you and put you
We
on
had to
child
go
support?
through this because she got a letter saying that they want to put me on child support. It was not her saying that she wants to put me through child support. But at the same time, let me tell you why. Because she has help through the state. You have got help through the state. That's technically, of course, the government. We get help from the government. They're going to go to the dad to be like, all right, nigga, you making this, and this. We can take this money from you to put towards her because we're helping her.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because the government only give a fuck about money. They don't give a shit about the fact that I'm busting my ass having 2 jobs doing this, and this. They just worried about a fucking dollar sign. So with her, but me and my baby moms, we cool, we here, like we cordial, like we friends, we all of that. So it's like, I'm like, yo, I don't want to be on child support. Keep it a buck. And she's like, I don't want to put you on child support because we honestly don't fucking need it. She doesn't need it. She works, I work. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she needs something for the baby, hit me. It's there. I got you. Like, that's I'm doing that before I fucking any bitch go out with my niggas. Anything. You already know that.
Right.
So when she tells me that, I'm like, all right, we can go to this court date, whatever it is. Even if I got signed, whatever, do that saying I'm going, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna not go. Like that. That's another. Then I get subpoenaed and all this extra shit. So I'm gonna just go, and then when we go there, it's up to her to tell him, yo, I don't want him on child support. I don't want him this on. She's gonna be on my side with it. That's what she's saying. So because me and her can easily talk, and whatever she need, I give it to her. Mm-hmm. So and every paycheck, bro, I get Pampers, diapers, this, and this. She don't need nothing. And like she really don't need nothing. So it's like when it comes from the government standpoint, trying to make niggas do this, that, and the third, y'all stick your nose in business that doesn't need to be there. Like that shit doesn't have to happen, bro.
Well, I feel you, but like you said it yourself, right? If she's getting a certain level of government assistance, they're gonna look and see who else is responsible.
Yeah,
and
but
who could
but
take
how?
on
But
that.
we can also ask this question: how the fuck is that my issue? If she needs,
Well,
we're not together. We're not one, bro.
But the point is, you're getting a certain amount of government assistance based on the fact that you have a child.
That government assistance was there before the child.
Well, you don't think it got, but you don't think it gets affected once they find out she has a child?
No, I feel as though that's when you put your nose in business. It doesn't fucking matter because this woman was getting that assistance before the child was there. So even if the child come in, I know good damn well I'm gonna step up and take care of that. So what the fuck you need the extra
to
money
to clarify, just for this particular scenario. Can you verify whether or not the amount of government assistance she was getting prior to the baby was increased?
What do you mean increased? It's the same
thing. What I mean is, if you had government assistance and then you have a baby and you get more government assistance, I could see them looking for the father to cover that extra.
You can't.
But if it remained the same, then that's a different scenario.
See, the thing about it is, it's all about if you put the baby on your government assistance. If you was to have the child doesn't automatically go onto that government assistance.
Can you verify if she put her on or not?
Yes, I can because I was there.
She put her on.
Yeah, of course she had to because
she made it their business.
No, but not that was. But the letter came prior to her putting the baby on to that. It was when the baby was born, and that's when that shit started.
Like they found out she had a baby.
No, bro, it wasn't no. I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying like if she was if the baby was born and put on my insurance, that's what's going to happen, the letters was coming regardless. That's what I'm trying to say. It was the fact that you have a baby and you are getting Medicaid and whatever. We have to make sure that, and then prior to you even putting that baby onto that, we're going to see if the father can help out. We're not going to see. We're going to make sure the father can help out because you're on Medicaid. It's not the fact that the baby came. Well, yes, it is. Let me take that back. It does. It's because the baby came, but it's the fact that you are on Medicaid. Right. It makes it look like that you can't take care of the baby by yourself. So we're going to make sure that father on file is going to do this, that, and the third.
If you're on Medicaid and you're getting government assistance, statistically, you can't take care of a child by yourself. So yeah.
But at the same time, they don't look at it like that because she does have a support system, and she honestly didn't need that. She just got the easiest health care that she needed.
That is different, though. You mean support system like family or other government assistance?
I'm talking about family.
Family doesn't necessarily matter when you're an adult.
I mean, it does if they put money towards your shit. If they could pay towards your shit,
but that's not a job that they can account for. You know what
I'm not talking about, in the government standpoint, I get that, but I'm talking about if somebody could pay for this, that, and the third, that matters towards a lot of things.
But the government cares about how much you make.
Yeah, I get that, but that's why I'm saying
so is the government assistance she was receiving just like healthcare?
Literally just healthcare, like Medicaid. That I know of, bro.
Got you.
So that's what I was told.
Just that, so that's kind of insane because like literally you force people like so with Obamacare and everything. You literally like are forced to get healthcare upon like penalty of like.
And on top of that, you're forcing you're taking bread from a nigga that is already doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, let's keep it a buck. Young niggas my age, because I'm technically still young. Not technically, I am still young. Yeah. So having a child, a lot of niggas my age is like, fuck that. I'm still trying to fuck bitches, go out, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas ain't worried about just being when that baby was conceived, bro, I bust that nut. I know what I did. So it's like, I want to be a part of that. Yeah, I still live my life. I still see my niggas. I still be out and about, but not as much because the main importance is that child's life, that child's well-being. But when the government step in and try to take extra money, you're basically taking away from my life, bro. You're basically slowing me down to you're basically fucking me up, basically. You're just doing shit that doesn't need to be done, in my opinion.
I agree, but I would say this, right? I mean, and you might disagree with me here.
What?
I feel as though let's say you are doing what you need to do on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You buy the diapers that are necessary. You spend the time that is necessary. Everything was handled properly. The moment you get put on child support, that's how you're handling it properly. I mean, I might be looked at as an asshole for what I'm about to say. If I'm on child support, I'm not buying diapers. You buy the diapers with the child support. That's what it's for. If I am paying child support, that's the government saying, hey, we making sure you handle your own. Maybe they take a large amount, and I'm like, what the fuck? It don't take that much. Look, it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. If you are taking money from my check and it's for my baby, you've determined that that is the amount necessary to take care of my baby. There's nothing else necessary from that point. I'm not speaking on being around as a father, being there to raise your child, but outside of birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, all the non-essential shit. Outside of that, once you're paying child support, there are no other obligations. How do you feel about what I just said?
I'm gonna say this. I feel how you feel. I really do. You giving this money so the wife could do that. I don't put that much stress into I said wife. To the mom. You know what I meant. But I would look at it like this. I'm not putting that much trust into her to put that money towards that.
The government is, so it's not your problem.
I don't fucking trust the government, so why the fuck would I trust her?
I mean, because she trusts in the government for using the government
assistance. I don't trust neither of them niggas, bro. I'm going to do it like
her
this.
Government assistance is literally forced upon her. Because
it's forced upon me as well, so it's
well, no, I mean like healthcare. So healthcare is like, to me, is different than any other.
But you got to qualify for that, bro.
Yeah, but it's at the same time, I understand what you're saying, but it's the cheapest healthcare out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, but bro, look, I say this. Look. Besides all the healthcare shit, back to what you was asking me. I can't worry about what she do with that money. I have to pay that.
You fuck out of here, bro. That money is for a purpose. You have to worry about it.
Yes, I do, but I honestly, like, when it comes to a court order making me give somebody, or it's just getting me garnished out of my shit.
Yeah.
I fucking can't. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's already gone, bro. Like, that's when I'm gonna have to do the side hustles and do shit that to make up for that. So it's like, I'm already going, I know me. I'm gonna have that money already coming back. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make that money back. So when that money gets garnished, I can't worry about where that go. I know it's going towards her, going towards the baby. I'm good. But I'm still the type of nigga, just me speaking from me.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk into my baby mom crib with a big ass box of Pampers and some wipes and shit.
So
because I want to have, I'm even if I know for a fact you're not doing, I don't have the baby mom that I know that's not going to take that money and take care of our child. I'm not in that ghetto ass, nut ass fucking scenario. You feel me? So I know for a fact she take that bread and do what she gotta do for the baby, what she will, because I know her. Like we good. Mm-hmm. You gonna take care of the baby. That's all we worried about is Cece. That's it. That's all we worry about is my child. Mm. So I know she's gonna do that. But other niggas, like other shit, I can't speak on other niggas. I can only speak on my own. So even if I'm forced to give up whatever, like let's say it's five to a stack a month type shit. If I have to do that, it's going to get done. I'm still going to come through with food and shit for my child because unless I know for a fact she's already doing that. If I know she's doing that, like if the cabinet's full of food, the bassinet and all of that shit full with diapers and wipes, yeah, I don't have to. Yeah, you're right. I don't have to. Because I put the money towards that.
If you're putting the money towards that, that should be expected, not potential.
Without the communication and without the knowing that the woman's doing that you can't know that, bro. You have to have the conversation.
I'm not saying you know. I'm saying you should expect it.
Fuck expectations when it comes to a baby mom, baby dad. Y'all have to sit down and have that conversation.
Agreed, but if we're talking about your responsibility at that point in time, the government is saying that you have to pay this much to take care of your child.
He's saying fuck the government.
That's what I'm dog. Because you have to. Because I'm telling you,
fuck the government, but don't say fuck your bread because you paid the bread already. We're not talking about the government. We talking about your bread.
Yeah, but it's different when you have the kid though. Like you want, like He's saying like that's just the type of like I see what he's saying. He's the type of person that's going to do that regardless of whether he's paying the bread or not. You feel? Do you get?
So if he's paying the bread, he's gonna pay more bread, and if he's not paying more bread, he's just gonna pay bread. Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much.
Is that not retarded?
Look, I'm not going to say it's retarded. I'm just going to say that that's somebody who's like dedicated to making sure their kid is cool.
No, I'm not. All right, let me not get misunderstood. I don't want to be misunderstood. I would never imply a person not take care of their child. What I'm saying is it's a difference between taking care of your child and getting taken advantage of in the pursuit of taking care of your child. If you make $100,000 a year and by yourself you're putting $30,000 towards your child. These are just round numbers for an example. You put $30,000 towards your child every year. Then you get put on child support. Government say, yo, we taking $30,000. Again, I don't know the exact numbers. These are just example numbers. Mm-hmm. The government says you're going to put $30,000 towards your child. Well, that's how much you were putting in already. Only difference is you were spending it on things your child needs, whereas now the money goes to the mother to get the things that you were already getting. Okay, cool. You're down the same $30,000 that you were already down with because you were spending that on your child. Now the expectation is to give it to the mother so she could take care of the child. You're saying you're going to put another $30,000 in just because, or... Like, and I bring up these specific examples just so I can get clarification on your stance.
You can't. Okay, bro. Like, let me break it down like this. For you, like the guard. Yes.
You gonna put another 30 down just because, even though before 30 was doing the job.
If the 30 is doing the job and the government makes me put an extra 30, like no, the number.
Well, no, it's exactly the same 30. Only now it's legally obligated. It can't
be the same 30 because it's
just legally obligated now. It's the same 30 you were spending. Now you're obligated.
There was an obligation before the government came into. That's what I'm
morally, not legally.
Fuck legally, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. That's your child. You busting that bitch. That's your kid. You got to take care of that, man.
But you are. In both scenarios, you are. But in one scenario, you're putting an extra 30 for some other reason.
You're going to put an extra whatever into anything, but plus to the government was giving what has to requirement that you have to do, bro. Period. You're going to put that plus. You think you're just going to give that money and not give your kid a good Christmas? You going to get that money.
Hold up. We started this by saying outside of non-essential shit.
That's essential, bro. You have to show that love to your kid. You have to have the kid have a fucking childhood, bro.
I'm not. I see. I think we're misconstrued here because
I understand what you're talking.
Look,
listen, bro. You're talking about diapers, food, wipes, clothes, all the extra shit. I'm talking about the fact that a kid is literally, honestly, is not going to be a happy child from their parent, from their father's point of view, if he's only doing that. You have to be that. You have to be that nigga in that child's eyes.
Not disagreeing. I said I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, you have to step up to that plate, bro. You have to knock it out the park. In my eyes. I have a great father, bro. He had his flaws, yes, but the fact that that nigga was there says anything. The fact that I'm named after the nigga says everything. That's my pop. I'm in the same realm. I named my child. I'm going to be there for my child in every aspect. So if you put it as, yeah, you've been put on child support. If you had to you already given up that, you said, like you said, the 30 stacks. You think that's going to change me how I treat my daughter? No, not at all. I understand.
When was that ever implied, though?
Because the fact that you're saying that I already give her that 30 stacks, like, it's essential. Should I not, like, still give that extra bread to take care of my kid, like, or the extra?
We were only talking about essential because I started off saying
essentially. Then this goes back to what I said, bro. You have to have the conversation with the baby moms, because if I'm giving her 30 stacks over a year to take care of my child, I need to know that 30 stacks is going towards my child. We have to have that conversation. You have to have that.
I think
that eyesight with that woman, bro.
I feel you there. So correct me, because at this point it sounds more like distrust of the mother opposed to handling obligations as a father.
So all right, so you saying obligations of a father? Obligations of the father through the law is just paying that fucking bill. That's all it is a fucking
No,
bill.
it's supporting your child. That
All,
money
in the
is
eyes of
supposed
the
to
law,
support
they're
the child.
taking that out of your check before you don't know what that
Yeah.
bread is being done when that gets to your mother. That is a bill.
That's where what you were saying comes into play, that communication with the baby mom. But regardless, that is handling your responsibility. If you got a shitty baby mom who misused the money, that's your choice for laying down with that particular
So you're
woman.
so in your eyes, you're saying that I'm a good father because I paid my motherfucking child support, regardless of what the mother
No,
does
you
to
take care of your child.
it. Regardless, no. Answer that question. Regardless, if the mother, you can't take care of the child if the mother doesn't whatever with the money. I'm sitting there saying, if regardless of whatever the fuck you give, how much the amount is, if that amount is given to that mother or sent to her and she does some bullshit with it,
She
you're
a
still
shitty
good father.
mother. That's
But
the fucking problem.
You're not. Let me finish the question before you answer.
Continue.
I'm saying you're still in your eyes, you're a good father because you're giving up that bread to this shitty mother.
Yeah.
No.
You're a good father. You're handling your monetary necessities. The mother is fucking
is your
it
child
up.
being taken care of?
Nah, that's where I. So
No,
Is the child be taken care of?
If the
So
mother's
how
a
would-
shitty mother, the child is not being taken
still,
care
that
of.
still falls in your responsibility because that's
Yeah,
still your
bro,
child,
that's-
bro.
look,
Bro,
You
it
have
is your
to,
child,
as a
you're
man,
handling
you
your
have to
duties.
take care of that. But regardless
I get
whatever
what
money
you're
goes,
saying. Like logically, yeah, I get what you're saying. But when it comes to a child, all that semantic stuff goes out the window. Like all of that, like I gave the money, so I'm a good father. Well, to that fucking kid, you're not, because like you left them in the hands of this shitty mom. That's what he's saying.
You know what? Is that what you're saying?
because I just said you
Hold
have
on,
to.
yes or no? Is what he just said what you're saying? Because I think that is not what you're saying. I need you to clarify before we continue.
I'm trying to. You just gonna give me a yes or no answer? No,
Because what he just said was as simple as a yes or no.
it's not, because it's not 100% what I was saying. I simply said that
So
you
that's
got to.
not what you were saying. Continue.
I said it clear. As a man, even if that money is being taken out of your check, you have no control over that. Do you not? No, you do not.
Mm-hmm.
If you sign that papers, go to court, you have to take. They just gonna take that bread.
Yeah.
If the money goes towards a bad mother, it's up to you as a man to honestly go down to that motherfucker and tell her you gotta get these diapers, gotta get this money, gotta get this, because it's coming out of my motherfucking check. The shit that I do in my labor, what I do day to day.
Yeah.
So you have to be a man. If you just thinking, oh, I'm giving the money, I'm a good father, that is false. You have to go back extra mile to make sure that mother's taking care of what she got to take care of. And on top of that, that's where the extra money come in, because you're going to have to pick up for that bullshit because that bitch do. Period.
Okay, so now I think I have a clear. I think I have a clearer understanding of what you're saying. I'm not trying to say that simply because you give money, you're a good father. There's tons of deadbeat ass niggas who could throw cash everywhere. They don't show up for their kids. They're not there to actually raise them. That's not the same thing as actually being a good father. I'm not trying to say that, right? My point being, if I, hypothetically, because I am not a parent, I don't plan on being a parent no time soon. But if I hypothetically had a woman and a child, and again, just for example's sake, I make $100,000 a year, okay? And I spend $30,000 every year buying the diapers, buying the food, paying for education. I'm paying for insurance. I am making sure they got clothes and school supplies. I'm making Christmas lit. I'm making birthdays lit. Everything is great. I'm there for my child. We spending time together. Great father. Cool. Now, if I get put on child support, that same amount of money that had that same great, perfect life, instead of it being a choice for me to go spend that $1,000 here, $5,000 there, this there, to where it accumulates to a great life for my child off of that $30,000. Instead of me doing these different things, providing that life, now that same monetary value is obligated of me prior to me spending another $30,000 to do it again. That money is being given to the mother, at which point the government is saying, hey, we want to make sure that you handle what you got to handle. Cool. If we were talking about a scenario in which child support gets taken out of your check and you take that money and buy all that same shit from the child support check that the baby mom receives, nothing really changes because you were spending that money already. At which point it goes to her instead of staying with you and you doing it. That's the government saying she needs to do it now. Do you show up to your child's house any less? No. Do you buy your child any less clothes? No. But when you buy the clothes, it comes from the child support money. Do you buy your child, do you take your child out less? Do you give them any less experiences? No. But when you do, it comes from the child support money. It's still your money. It's for the child. Use the child support to support the child.
Okay, all right. I hear what you're saying. But if that's your baby mom gonna do what the fuck she want with that bread, bro.
That's a
Didn't
whole
you
nother
just say it was your
conversation.
responsibility as a father to make sure those funds were allocated properly?
I understand what I said, yes, but you can always have that conversation and want her to do this and the third, but it's not going to be the same stack or
Unacceptable.
Then this goes down to motherfuckers not really.
Sounds
being-
scared.
Nah, well, I
Unacceptable.
don't
It's
think it
not-
sounds
yo.
scary. I think, look, at that point, what Sean's talking about, I think at that point, that's when you go to court and try to get your kid, whatever's going on. She's like,
give me a half.
I'm chill, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, I told you that was my last one.
I got you.
If she not allocating the bread right and shit like that, that's when you go to court, blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, in that point forward, if I'm Sean, right? I'm not saying this is your situation, but if I'm Sean, and I sat down and I had this conversation, with my baby moms, and she's not doing it, she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing with that money. In the meantime, I'm going to put forth that extra money to make sure my kid is straight, regardless of whether it's coming from the child support or not. I think, is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's basically what he's saying.
It's not even about putting extra money towards it. It's a simple fact. I'm going to take care of my kid regardless of the fact of whatever the fuck the government requires me to give. Because I have to give that to her, period. It's not even a negotiation on my end. So it's like, all right, it could be less or more than what I'm already doing, right? Regardless of the fact that's going to stop me from copping McDonald's on a random day. It's going to stop me from taking her to a amusement park on a random day. It's gonna stop me from getting her extra sneaks and shit on her birthday.
That has
shit
nothing
like that.
to do with child
It does.
support.
Listen to what I'm saying. Let me finish that because he said it's all about the necessities and shit. You're talking about giving a woman some extra bread to take care of her kid, right? She's going to take care of that kid, regardless of whatever you may think that she may not do or whatever do. She's going to. She has to take care of that kid. She's going to take care of him. But the extra couple dollars left over. You really think that woman not gonna sit there and spend it on herself somewhere, get her nails done, do this, and this? Because that
Do you
shit.
look down on all women?
I don't look down on women at all, bro. What you talking about?
I didn't literally mean that. That wasn't. It was more rhetorical. The reason I say that is because you got to think a woman is a piece of shit to do that.
Dog, I'm sitting there. I'm looking at it from a human aspect, nigga. If
That's why
I
I
have
asked
$20,
if you look down on
I
women.
need $15 in gas. I got $5 left over. I'ma fucking eat.
No, if you are given money to handle a certain purpose, if I hypothetically, right?
It's the same thing,
If I'm a father
bro.
and I'm a single father and I'm in a lucky enough position to have no, but you don't, Pete. If I am a single father who is in the position to where my baby mom pays me child support and I get $1,000 every week for my child,
That sounds like love.
no, it do. But the thing is,
It is. It's
that
a
but
fucking
that
lot.
happens though. It's not as common at all based on how things work in our society, but it happens. So if I know that my child's bills every week is $1,000, but 1 week it just so happens to be 900. The scenario you were bringing up is saying, well, is that mother not going to use that extra 100 for herself? Where I'm saying, just my perspective, I could just be the lone man in the world who thinks this way. But if I have that $1,000 a week to take care of my child, and 1 week it's an extra $100, that means next week I'm gonna have $1,100 to take care of my child. That doesn't mean I have an extra $100 for me. The way you were speaking is as though you have the expectation of the mom to use that extra on herself and not the child like it's meant for.
Okay, bro. So I'm sitting there looking at it like this: if you have $1,000, you get the extra, you get the Pampers, you get the food, you get the wipes, you get everything that child needs, and you have extra something left over.
That's not yours. That's the child's.
Dog, and I'm sitting there telling you the fact that whose bank account does that money goes into?
Who's the money for?
Whose money? Where's it go?
Because we know it goes to the mom, but
Of
who's the money
course.
for, though?
Dog, that doesn't fucking matter. I'm sitting there telling you,
It doesn't
it's up
matter?
to the it's up to the
It's
mother
the
to pay.
law.
It's up to the. You think the law's going to check how that mother pays and spends that money? No,
I feel like
That's your
Caleb.
job.
Caleb would. You know,
That's
anything
not my
about
job.
child
That's
support,
not my
you a
job.
government
It's
ass
not really.
nigga.
it's not my job.
Like, I can't.
I can
As
sit
the
there.
father,
I can
have
get there. I
jobs.
can get there. I can sit there and say as much as I want. It is not my job.
As the father.
Most of my, that's how.
Bro, you
that
can sit there.
child.
And, this is what I'm saying. Wait till y'all have a child and y'all be a father. You're gonna understand that as a mother state in Delaware, Philly,
Yeah,
Pennsylvania,
when you
all
start
that
saying
shit.
like that, you
It's in
sound
the law.
scared, bro.
It's not scared. It's the law, my nigga. It's something that y'all need to understand. I can say everything in my motherfucking
lack of
power.
accountability.
I can sit there and say as much as I want. If the fucking law sit there and tell me it's up to the mother to do this, mother to do that, mother say this, mother say that, they're gonna lean towards the mom. What can I do? I could just sit there and say my piece and hope that they hear me. That's all. So, yeah, other than that, I have to sit the fuck back and be a young boy in this situation. That's the easiest way I can describe it to you.
Me and
Y'all sitting there
Johnny
saying I'm
Cochran
scared.
gonna
Ain't
handle
nothing to be
that.
scared.
Well,
you can yell at a bitch
all right.
all day. That's not gonna get you what you
Me
want,
and
bro.
Johnny
So-
Cochran going to handle that.
You can have Johnny Cochran. You can have,
Everybody
you
got
can have
Johnny
fucking
Cochran
Jesus,
money,
my
nigga.
nigga. It's not gonna
Fuck him.
change the law right now. It's not gonna change shit.
Not gonna change that as bullshit, and I'm gonna fight against.
But I think
I
your
understand it, but this is some shit that you need to like
But I
get
think-
into to understand.
but I think your
You can't just
situation-
speaking from the outside looking in.
But I think your situation is different though, because it's not like she's getting like food stamps. It's literally healthcare. Where
Yeah, it's
like,
not nothing that deep.
Yeah,
Like I'm
it's
just trying to
literally
get you to
healthcare.
understand. It's healthcare. I get it, and I'm on top of it. On the point of
Because
that,
I think
I'm-
once the child is born, no matter what it is, no matter what health insurance you're on, that kid, because of Obamacare, automatically goes on the insurance, right?
no, you have nowadays you have to sign your child up for it. It doesn't.
Oh, they
just-
got to sign your kid up
because me and my baby moms are not a couple. So you have to.
Gotcha.
It goes on either the papa or the mom or whatever. It went on hers right now. And I'm saying, excuse me. When it comes down to get my better health insurance, because I got health insurance, but when I get help due to my job and shit, Cece's going. She's going on my shit. Like so that's why I'm saying when we go to court and all that shit gets discussed, and when I do what I say happens, child support's out the window. I'm gonna be good. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna be all right. But I know what I'm going through because I'm going through the actual steps, the letters, and having to go through court, all of that shit. So I'm sitting there saying, when it comes to that, even if the child is good, even if the child is on health care, has this, has that, the government's always going to stick their foot in, stick their nose in, tell you, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm in my pick book, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna bust my ass, get these hours, do what I got to
They
do. I
always
have the money
stick their
for you to
nose
take.
in-
It's gonna be there, but at the same time, I can't sit there and dictate what she does with the money. That's up to her. And
That's
then-
the
and then-
double
then- let me-
standard.
let
Where
me-
it's,
then-
hold on,
then-
I just
then-
gotta say
I
this.
go-
That's just for the viewers. That is one of the double standards that brought up this whole topic in general here, because as a father, you choose to have sex. You don't choose to procreate. You could wear a condom, you could use birth control, but when the baby happens, the baby happens. The mother decides whether to bring the child into this world. The mother decides whether to give the child up for adoption. And if the mother herself is not sustainable, the government takes their foot and step it in and say, hey, you're obligated to pay this bread. But again, the mother is not obligated to use that money in any particular way. So at which point the father is forced to either be called a deadbeat, because even though he's paying his due, he has to do double his duty just for morals, just for visuals, or be a deadbeat. Either do double or be a deadbeat as a father. That's the double standard here. Whereas the mother can say, I don't want it. I don't want it. Actually, I do want it. You take care of it now. One of the biggest double standards we have in life. Continue.
I mean, my point of view is it's the same thing. Like I said, all I'm gonna say is I can do what I gotta do. Have the money there for the government to take. It's up to the mother to do right by that child. A lot of mothers will take care of the child at a minimum and still have money left over for them because they feel as though I had the baby. I'm taking care of the baby. I'm watching the child majority of the time, so I need something as well. That's a lot of these young bitches really be thinking, and that's the reality of niggas need to put into
Not
their
even the
concept.
young ones. That's a lot of these females
You know what I'm saying?
nowadays.
So it's like, I think of that. I be like, all right, I understand that. I understand the fact that, these Jones really going to think that way. They're going to probably do for themselves after. It should be after, but some Jones before that they, you know what I'm saying, do for their
They
baby.
don't think about themselves before they think about their babies a lot of the time.
Not a lot. No, I wouldn't say a lot, bro. I wouldn't say a lot. I'll say sometimes. But because when a woman has a child, she really cherish that shit. Most of them do. So it's like they
But
really
a lot
give
of women
fuck.
have revenge babies and use babies for leverage in
Well, I
relationships.
wouldn't say a lot, bro. I wouldn't say a lot. That's that spiteful petty bitches. Them Jones is in the corner. I'm talking about actual women that just have a baby, get pregnant. They actually want to have that child, actually want to be a mother, actually love that child, even if it's on accident. I trust nigga. So I'm talking like, so I'm saying I understand it more than anything. So when I see a woman with a child and she may be on child support with a child, and she's not with that nigga or maybe messing with other niggas or doing whatever, she's looking for that bread to help her and the baby. It's not just the baby. It's
Is that
her
not an issue?
And the baby. Of course, it's an issue. But you think the government gives a fuck? They only give a fuck if they get that money from you. That's the point I'm making.
I'm not
They
going to disagree
do
with
not
you
care,
there.
bro.
So let me ask you: do you give a fuck?
It doesn't matter if we give a fuck.
That's not the point. I'm asking: do
In
you
the eyes
give
of
a fuck?
do not understand that the
Don't ask
Oswald
me
do
for
not
that.
give
I'm
a
saying,
fuck.
do
I get what
you
both
give
y'all
a fuck?
saying.
Hold on,
I
time
get
out.
it. I get it.
Twan,
But y'all
you
pro
got it.
nigga. You
got
gotta
it.
understand
Time
that
out.
it does not
He
matter.
wants-
It
I
does
think
not
he just wants to
matter.
explore.
The
like,
fact
ahead.
you talking bullshit. The fact that you feel like it
I'm talking
don't
bullshit.
matter is chalk. That shit is dead.
All right, get a
Bro,
baby
like, you
and
gotta
be
take.
in my position.
Hold up,
You'll
nah,
see
nah,
that
nah.
this
You
shit
gotta
is
take
true, bro.
accountability for what you did.
Who? Me?
Everybody, if you're in a fucked up situation, you gotta take accountability for what you did. If it's not the best case scenario, you just have to hold that and you gotta fight for something better. Just because my baby mom wants to do some doesn't mean I gotta put up with the bullshit. It does not mean I
All
have
right,
to put up
so
with the
what would
bullshit.
you do? So how can you change that bullshit? If you got paid child support, also be a father. How could you change that? Let me ask you that.
What do you mean?
You
That's
saying-
what, why do you feel like?
because nigga, stop asking me questions. Answer the question. Because you
Hold up, nigga,
saying
you've been talking this whole time.
because it's something that I can only in this room can fucking talk about. I'm sitting there talking about being a baby father and all that. I'm asking you, somebody that doesn't have a father, somebody doesn't have a child. I'm asking you, what the fuck could you do to change the fact that your baby mama is sitting there doing like taking care of the baby, but also taking a little bit or bits of that bread and doing something that she want to do? What the fuck would you do to change that?
I feel like it's not a problem if she's not asking me for extra bread.
His point is the fact that all that money need to go towards the baby. I'm saying if she even put a fucking cent towards herself, what would you do to change that?
She just not gonna ask me for the extra bread.
If the court takes that money and she takes that money and puts a cent towards her, what would you do to change that?
ask for receipts.
Ask for
Just gonna
receipts
ask for
and go back
receipts.
to court, right? That's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
But it's all through the government. That's my point, right?
First of all, I would not be put in that situation. That's just dead.
But you're in that
And
situation.
two,
That's the
if
scenario.
I
That's
get-
the scenario
if I
I'm
get in that
asking
shit,
you. I'm
then
asking.
Then we're going to court, bro.
That's my point.
Then we're
Everything
going to
goes back
court.
towards the government,
Then
like
I'm
I
getting
said, right?
evidence.
That-
that's
everything
what I'm
goes back
doing.
towards the government, and it's still going to be you having to pay that tab. Period.
But-
But goes all the way towards the fact. The key point, you can't do shit about it. You just gotta
Man,
go.
that's a defeatist mindset,
Yeah,
bro.
you
Bro,
sound
but if you
defeated.
go to court,
sound
if you go
defeated,
to
bro.
court and you paying that bread, and they only give a fuck about you paying that tab, what else could you do?
I'm going to court.
And you can sit
I'm
there and say that
appealing.
she's paying this towards this towards this towards this towards this, and you have the receipts or whatever. Maybe you have a fight. But I'm sitting there saying if she's sitting there taking care of the majority,
That's your
if
responsibility to
she
have the
takes care
receipts.
of the baby and all of that shit, yes. But I'm sitting there telling you, bro, you can sit there and go to court all you want. It's going to lean towards the mother regardless.
So what?
I just
so
thought of
what?
a dumb
Underdog,
slogan. I
my
don't know if
nigga.
it's appropriate to
No,
You
use.
sound
it.
defeated.
It's
Well,
not
hold up,
defeated, bro.
Caleb.
You're not
So,
listening to
Caleb,
what my point, man.
I don't know if it'd be appropriate to say this right now.
What?
'Cause I'm not trying to offend anybody.
What?
Go ahead.
It's the big cat, bro.
To avoid the defeatist mindset,
Right.
make sure you have a dead fetus between you.
I agree.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
That's why I was like, we
agree.
was having a serious conversation. I'm being
I
dumb.
agree. I mean,
being
look,
dumb.
no,
Caleb being
that is. I know what you meant, bro.
That's why I'm like,
Hold up. No, I know what you mean. Cause like, be careful bumping the table. But I know what you mean. Cause
I'm
like,
retarded, bro.
I
Go
don't mean this shit literally. Like, hold up. I'm a knock on. wood real quick.
I agree with him for the most
But
part, though. I'm gonna say that.
always
I agree
used
with
to-
Sean for the
I
most
used
part.
to have an extreme joke where, like, and this is I don't mean this shit. I gotta clarify first, but it's like you got Plan A, a condom, Plan B, the pill, Plan C, a
Stirs.
flight of steps.
Stirs.
Like, it's fucked up. No, I joke about that, but it's different. It's different when you go into a relationship or you go into your interactions with any particular woman. Let's just say significant.
But hold
other.
up, to cut you off. But I don't even think his situation is even really that fucking deep, though. You feel me?
You're not
Honestly.
here enough to hear conversations and understand the passion behind the words.
Okay.
Now, look, I'll just say that to continue, right? The whole point being, you gotta. Well, one personally, I'll say this personally, you have to want to have a child to do certain things, right? If a guy uses a condom, that doesn't mean he wants to have a kid. But if the condom breaks, you can't control that. Now, if a guy does his best to communicate with his significant other prior to intercourse, then you could discuss how y'all feel about children, when you want to have children, getting pregnant. Do you want to wait? What are you going to do if you get pregnant before you're ready? A mature, responsible couple are going to have these discussions prior to the situation happening, right? But then if you go into it willy-nilly, if you fuck without a condom, if she says she's on birth control but you can't confirm it, if all these different things come into play and a child just happens, well, at that point, it just happened. Now, one person might still say, yo, I didn't, like, it just happened, I didn't choose to. But then on the other hand, you went into it without certain levels of safeguards and precautions, so you just got to deal with the consequences of what happened. Now, the moment you have your kid, you got to look at all your different factors. Who am I having this kid with? Where am I at in my life? Where are they at in their lives? What is our relationship like? How is this going to work? Are we going to be together in a relationship? Are we going to stay single? Are we going to live together? Is our family going to help us? All these different things come into play, right? And everybody's going to be different. But then once you actually have the kid and then you start to see what life is like, how far do you live from your significant other? If it's down the street, it don't matter. If it's across the country, then that's a whole nother scenario, right? Yeah. You got to pay child support. Well, why do you have to pay child support? How much money do you make? Are you comfortable? Like, do you live on your own, have your own car, insurance, savings, so forth? Could you support a family? It might not necessarily bug you as much if it's income that you can dispose of without really thinking about it. If you're in a different place in your life where you're in more of a struggle mode, that shit is going to hit way harder. Then you got to ask about your relationship with your significant other. Do you trust in them? You know, how much do you trust in them, their character, their decisions? Do you feel as though this money is going to be used for the child, or do you feel there's a chance it might not be? At which point, I understand, like, a father is going to want to support their child regardless. You're going to have that instinct to be the provider, be the protector. You're going to want to do what's necessary to give your child the best life. Unless you're a deadbeat, but we're not talking about deadbeat niggas here. We talking about good motherfuckers who want to actually be a good father, who want to support their child and be the best father they can be. You're going to do what's necessary for your child. But after you choose the mother, your options are limited based on that choice you made. If you know that worrying about the mother using money for child support for other reasons, if you give your girl, or not your girl, you give your baby mom $1,000 because the government says $1,000 for child support, and then you literally look around the house and it's $800 worth of groceries in the fridge, your daughter got a whole $100 outfit on, and then your baby mom's got a $100 pair of shoes on. Well, that $100 could have went to another outfit or some extra eggs in the freezer. We don't, or fridge. We don't know. You know, that could have went to some extra ground turkey and some carrots and peas and shit. Like, we can say the mother is going to do what the mother chooses to do with that bread because, like you said before, once it hits that bank account, it just is what it is. Like, I mean, based in the government's eyes, I know we don't like the government. We don't want to talk about the government. But at that point, you handled your responsibilities. Morally, as a father, that's not picking your daughter up from school. That's not changing a diaper. That's not a family vacation where you could take pictures and have memories. That's not showing up to their dance recital. That is separate from all the other aspects of being a father. But again, we're in a place now where being a father in the eyes of the government is nothing more than monetary value. You have to pay this. The government don't give a fuck if you showed up to your kid's dance recital. They don't give a fuck if the kid loves you or hates you. Did you pay your bread? You paid your bread, you're a good father in the eyes of the government. Does that make you a good father in reality? No. But this whole time we're speaking on the father doing extra to be a good father. I don't have a problem with that. But this whole time we're speaking from the point of the mother doing whatever the fuck she wants to do. I can't accept that. I'm not saying that's not the reality. I'm not saying it's not a struggle. It's not a fight. But I'll be damned if I am handling the monetary value of my child. And I'm expected to double my monetary contribution because of the bad actions of a mother. Not talking about all the other things that are very important, like I just said.
Bars.
Those good Christmases, the showing up to pick your daughter up from school, helping her with her homework, show up to the dance recital, give her advice on boys, give her advice on friends, be there to pick her up when she scrape her knee. I'm not talking about none of that shit. I'm talking about what hits you outside of your emotions, what fiscally hits you the hardest in your life. You're expected to take on double the burden without any repercussions on her side for her misuse of your sacrifice. I cannot accept that. Now, we could discuss what the reality of fixing that problem is. Maybe, like, the reason I brought up the whole defeatist mindset is because if you truly have looked into it and you say, yo, there's nothing I could do, okay, that doesn't make it right. When you say I just got to take it, I said defeatist mindset because me personally, I'm going to show up at court every day, where the receipts, what did she spend it on? Because it's not about the baby mom, it's about the child. I'm still going to pick her up from school. If she want, like you said, if she want McDonald's, yeah, we getting McDonald's. If she got this, we going to do that. But I'm going to court because at that point, it's not the baby mom. And if the baby mom gets spiteful and don't want to let me see my kid, I'm going to court again. I'm fighting for visitation. The government forced you to pay that bread. And as long as you paying that bread, the government is looking at you perfectly fine. At which point, the mother gets the pressure. Why didn't he see his child? You can't say it's because he didn't pay child support.
They don't care about that.
But you haven't dealt with that yet. As much as you have dealt with yet, you haven't dealt with that yet. So you can't speak on that.
How can you speak on it if you don't, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because you just said you just got put on child support and you're handling it up till now.
My nigga, I'm asking, how could you speak on, tell me I can't speak on the fact that if somebody they don't care.
No,
they don't make sure you see your kid.
But you haven't gone to court for that yet.
Have you ever heard of a government making sure, besides going to court for visitation hours?
That's what I'm talking about.
No, you did not say that. You said that the court. Okay. Man, it's like
Caleb is the third. Did I not just say if you're not able to see a child, you could go to court for that?
But when did he say that they were going to court for visitation? We're talking about money paid towards the mother. That's a whole different case. That's a whole different court session. But
we just said if you're handling, if the government knows that you are handling your monetary contributions,
that's a different court session.
The government is the government.
Money and seeing your child, bro.
I'm saying if you are handling your monetary contributions and your baby mother will not let you see your child, you go to court for that.
Yes.
At which point the government only knows that you are handling your responsibilities, at which point the pressure is on the baby mom. That's what I just said. And you said how am I going to tell you? I'm saying you haven't had to deal with that yet. You haven't gone to court for visitation, even though I told you should. You haven't done that.
Bro,
it hasn't become an issue yet. We had this back and forth in Philly 2 weeks ago.
I understand that because I can see my kid whenever I want, so I don't have that issue.
That's not true, Sean. We're just the big cat. We being real.
When can I not? I can leave here right now
and go see my kid. Your fucking birthday. You said you couldn't see
I was waiting for somebody to drop my kid off. There's a difference between going to see my kid. Nigga.
You couldn't see her because of the choices of your mother, the baby's mom and her family.
You hear the difference between me waiting for somebody to drop my kid off or me getting the fuck up and going to where my kid is at?
When you wanted to.
Bro,
that's
the question what you're not hearing is the fact that I waited for somebody to drop the kid off, and it was
excuses don't matter. What did you want?
I was waiting to see my kid, nigga. It was already adjusted and fucking planned that I'm waiting to see my kid. I could have waited until 9:00. I chose to tell her to stay where you at because I'm not about to sit here and wait all night, and I'm in another move. I'm sitting there saying if I really wanted to see my kid, I would have waited and saw my fucking kid. Like that was me not wanting to wait because it was already getting too late. I didn't want my baby and her to fuck out all late just sitting just because I wanted to see my kid. I made that choice. I could leave here right now, go where my child is at because I know where my child is at every fucking day. Mm-hmm. I can go see them whenever I want. That's why I said this does not affect me. I'm sitting there speaking on the broader thing about it because I know information about it and I can speak on it. That the fact that I can see my kid any and every day, any hour of the fucking day when I want. So don't tell me that this didn't. I told y'all that out of confidential because I know the certain circumstances happened. The fact that my child wasn't, we was on the move with her grandfather. Were you not mad about those circumstances? It doesn't matter if I was mad, bro. Because the simple fact.
Why does it not matter?
Why doesn't it not matter? Why doesn't it matter? Because the simple fact that if I would have sat still and waited, I would have saw my kid.
But why did you have to wait?
Why did I have to wait? Because I did not know that my child was with her grandfather that day.
That's the issue.
No, I didn't know she was on the move with her grandfather. I knew she was with her grandfather that day.
I mean, that's the same thing. Is that not an issue? You don't know where your child is going when you plan on seeing her?
Of course it was, bro. Like, but I'm sitting there.
That's what we're talking about.
But
Sean.
I'm saying, but I understand y'all trying to rule with an iron fist with this shit. It's a 50-50 thing. If she's with her grandfather,
Obviously not. Did you agree for your child to go to Virginia?
No, I did not. I did not know about
so
it.
it's not 50-50. She made that choice.
She didn't make that choice. Her grandfather made that choice.
She allowed that to happen because that's her child. And
if she didn't know, if she or I did not know about that shit, and we just have to both wait for our child to come back,
then
what the
that's
fuck can we do?
negligence altogether. That's
My thing is the fact that when
y'all
y'all get a fucking kid and y'all understand that if you give that child over, y'all consider saying,
is that not a
oh,
cop
y'all
out?
want it. It's not a cop out. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get y'all to
That's a
understand.
cop-out.
Y'all not going to control everything like y'all think, nigga. Y'all not. There's no way in hell that y'all going to control every fucking thing. Yes, that's my child. I see my child every day more than a grandfather, more than a grandmother. I'm with her all the time. When I'm not here, I'm 9 times out of 10 I'm with my fucking kid, bro. So if y'all niggas sitting there saying that y'all gonna control, if I didn't, I understand what y'all saying.
So we don't have to get further into your personal business. We can move on from this if you want to.
I'm just sitting there. Honestly, I just want to understand the fact that how can niggas that not in the situation have more information on me about this shit?
Because
That's
you
the
are
thing.
in a situation. And
Y'all on the outside looking in.
No,
I don't sit
but
there tell a hockey player how to play hockey. I play ball.
You are in a situation, and you've been open about the specific aspects.
Even if I'm open, you're not experiencing it. You're just
not
listening to what I'm saying and putting your input on
Exactly.
it. That's
So why
it.
do you complain to us then if you don't want to?
I
No,
don't
that's not
complain.
complaining.
Hey, it's a complaint.
It's a difference
Me
between
venting is a complaint.
No, and I was about to clarify
That's
that.
disrespectful
Sean.
as shit.
It is a difference between complaining and venting. You do not complain. You just express yourself. We're not getting into the point of niggas talking about. That's not the case here.
When niggas say that, bro, I
It's
gotta address
Why
that.
you vent
clarifying.
if you don't want to
To
opinion?
get shit off my chest, and I do not ask for your
that's
opinion when I
different.
say that. Do I not? I
That's-
just sit there and
it-
speak.
it is-
If you give your
that's
opinion, I
different.
always
don't-
listen, but I never sit there and dismiss what y'all say. I listen,
that
but
is
y'all
different.
dismiss what the fuck I say and combat the shit. I'm just sitting there saying, bro, like I'm just sitting there listening, and telling you how I feel, what it's about. I feel as though I know it and fucking live the shit, so I'm not going to listen to somebody that's not living the shit to tell me how I should or go, what it is and what it's not.
Okay.
What the
Period.
fuck you talking to me for?
But because we're talking about this topic, you
It's
got
supposed to be because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be a bro and listen. If
Yeah.
that's not what you're going to do, I will be the fuck. I'll be
But
quiet
Pete-
and don't say shit to me
But
about
Pete,
it.
but Pete,
Fuck
Pete,
it.
Pete, I feel
fuck
you.
about what niggas saying.
But the point is, I understand where you're coming from, and though I have my certain disagreements, there's no way to continue along this road unless we get further into personal business, which I don't want to do.
It was
based on
never
you.
a personal business. It was an example because I can only put
Well,
my
no,
personal
I have
business
another
as
example based on personal business of yours that I don't feel like would be appropriate bringing up. I feel like we've already gone into your
But do
personal
you
shit.
but do you peep how it's always about my personal business? Nothing that y'all could put towards it to actually understand what the fuck a nigga
Well,
going
I could
through.
put your personal business towards it. It's the perfect example.
Do you hear what I just said? Like, it's nothing that they in their own personal shit can put towards it to understand what the fuck I'm going through. So I feel as though just listen to what I'm saying. I'm not sitting there saying what I'm saying is the most correct. I never go about that route. I'm just sitting there saying I will listen to what y'all guys say. But when a nigga sit there and say, why the fuck you talk? Why is this? Why is that? Because I want to hear what you guys say. But when you just throw my shit in the butt and like, what I'm saying, you supposed to do this. Fuck all that. Nigga, how the fuck you gonna tell me, nigga? You know nowhere near what the fuck we're going through. Nowhere near.
I agree. I feel like it's a difference between.
I'm gonna start you on the bench,
But
nigga.
Pete,
Don't sit there
but
and
Pete,
talk
but
to me about
Pete,
the
but
game if
Pete,
you're not
but
in
Pete,
it.
Pete, Pete. It's a difference between going through something personally and having personal perspective and speaking on it from experience, opposed to listening and having an opinion on what you're going through.
All right.
That's all. That's it. I mean, I haven't had no children, but if a homie of mine has a child and he goes through certain things that I would have an issue with in the same scenario, I'm gonna just say how I feel based on my thoughts.
And I hear that
I
as
can't
when-
say that I've gone through it. I'm not gonna act like I know more. All I'm gonna do is ask questions for clarity and state how I feel about it, whether I agree, disagree, what I think. That's it. And my opinion is going to deepen based on the more I learn from you, the more I learn from other fathers, and when I become a father myself. My opinions and my experiences are going to shape my views on it. I'm just expressing my current views based on everything I've gone through in my life, not having had a child, witnessing other people with children, and witnessing a close friend with children. That is where I start to state what I feel. And I get how you feel. I think it definitely is a sensitive subject because of how personal it is. And when I brought up the whole defeatist mindset, it's easy to not want to, I forget the term of it, shake the boat. You know, like if you feel as though, rock the boat. Like you might not want to rock the boat because you feel like at the end of the day, you care about your child. And this is like, again, I don't have children. So this is just my personal opinion. You have your child and you understand that the life of the child is what's most important. You understand that regardless of what anybody else, your mother, your baby's mother's mother, your baby mother herself, anybody else, regardless, it's up to you to be the father to your child and handle your responsibilities. So I take it as you would rather not even focus on anything else other than you and your child. All the bullshit that happens, you just take it as it comes, because regardless, you're going to be a good father to your child. That's how I personally see it, and I respect that. But I do think it's there's a certain point where you're getting taken advantage of, not you as in you in particularly, but men in general within the system that we have. Men tend to get taken advantage of, and a lot of people just take it. They just take it, opposed to fight it. They take it. And a lot of the time when men do try to fight it, it does affect their relationship with their child based on the influence of other outside people. If the baby father try to not get on child support, but every time he comes to the crib, he brings the diapers, he does all this, the baby mom might talk shit on him to the child, and now that affects his relationship, opposed to the guy who just takes it, he pays the child support, he comes in with the extra, he got a good relationship with the child, he might be doing extra shit for the baby mom, but even though he shouldn't have to do that, even though he's being taken advantage of, he'd rather not focus on that because at least his child's happy. I get that, but at the end of the day, I do not accept anybody, any man or woman for that matter, but any man being taken advantage of. And I like to speak on where we're getting taken advantage of. I like to break down the systems in place that allow people to get taken advantage of, and just have our back and forth on that. Because if that's the case, it is what it is. We could discuss why that is the case, and we could go further into that. But it's not about trying to pinpoint anything on you particular outside of this conversation we were just having, because of the specifics of your situation currently and how we've talked about it before, different things I've agreed with or disagreed with, and my disagreements and how you might feel on certain things. It just is what it is, and that's how a lot of niggas just take it, opposed to say, yo, this ain't right, I'm gonna fight for this and I'm gonna move forward. I mean, it's fucked up. And if you don't have a kid, it's going to be harder for you to understand. But the reason I said it was a cop-out is because since I don't have a kid, I can't say what it's like to be a father and be on child support. But as just a person who understands things, who can read and think critically, I can look at the laws, I can look at relationships, and I can agree or disagree on things. That's all.
You're not as well read as you think you are, John.
I didn't say I was well read. I said I can think critically and I can read.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not saying that I'm like the
sure
most
about that, bro?
informed on policy. Yeah.
You sure about that, bro?
Am I sure about what?
That you're well read.
I never said I was well read. I said I could read.
All I said is
sure about
act of
that?
reading.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you could do that, bro. I don't know if the act of reading is capable of your kind.
all I'm gonna say is that.
Oh, word.
Nigga that play ball is not gonna hop on a hockey stick.
I feel you.
That's all I'm saying.
Look,
man.
I see. Like I said,
Y'all done?
I'm chilling. I'm good. I see where you're coming from, definitely, but I definitely see where he's coming from, because like I've talked to like people in the situations and shit like that, and they basically say the same shit that he's saying right now. So it's like I definitely see where he's coming from, and I see where you're coming from as well. You guys are coming from it from a perspective like kind of like what he's saying, like not having a kid. Prior to having the kid, saying what you're going to do, this, that, and the third. Nigga, when you get finished working 40 hours a week, when you getting finished dealing, actually, if you're not a deadbeat, dealing with your actual fucking kid, doing all this shit, if you got, like, he got a girl and shit like that, you're dealing with her. Nigga, by the time you get to dealing with the government, you're not going to have, the energy to do that shit. And then on top of that, if you're dealing with, like, his baby moms, he said it's somebody he could deal with and shit like that, it's like, all right, look, I'll do it until this certain amount, until it gets rectified, whatever, and then we'll sort it out there. Like, you're not going to think about it all that too much, especially when she it sounds like she goes above and beyond for the kid, right? Of course. I can assume that, so.
Always.
And I'm speaking specifically on his situation, not all situations, so. And then on top of that, like I was trying to make the point with her situation.
Put the mic a little bit closer.
With her situation to begin with has to do with healthcare in the first place, just for her to get healthcare, where that's probably the most affordable healthcare she could get was through Medicaid. So like I see where he's coming from. Basically, is what I'm saying. I see where.
Where's he coming from?
Huh?
Where's he coming from?
He's coming from the perspective like y'all niggas don't have kids. Y'all niggas aren't going through the situation
Cop
that
out.
he's going through. I don't think that's a cop out, bro. I don't think that's a cop out.
See, the reason I was saying
Is
like,
Wayne Gretzky going to
but hold up.
tell Michael
Repeat,
Jordan how to
repeat.
shoot a 3-pointer?
See, look,
That's what he's saying. That's basically what he's saying.
The reason I was bringing up that like you haven't been around as much and like it's based on certain conversations is because
Is this on here?
yeah, no, yeah, we're still going, but that's why I did that for the edit shit. But
No, I'm saying is what we're saying now going to be on
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. See, the whole point is there when you have certain
And let me just clarify. That's why for the most part I was just being quiet because, like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know all the
I know.
you know.
But
so.
see, but that, and I appreciate you doing that. But the reason I say like big cap no bullshit is because this is the passion aspect. We dig into certain philosophies and perspectives, but this is where shit gets passionate. You know what I mean? Now, from me and Twan's perspectives, we've had different conversations about this topic in different areas. Whereas I understand that he's passionate about it because it's personal, it's family, it's procreation, it's all these different things. I respect that, but then when I take it to a certain point as far as information being divulged, it's because like, well, maybe outside of this, I might bite my tongue to a certain extent because I don't want to be disrespectful. But here, you know what I mean? I have to keep it all the way a buck. And if there's certain things where I'm like, okay, that I disagree with, and I can only explain why I disagree by getting into the most personal shit, I don't want the passion to overtake the conversation to where we're no longer listening, to where it could come to a point of being disrespectful.
The bullshit ruffles niggas'
Yeah,
feathers
so
sometimes.
it's like I'd rather just calm it down because within getting super personal, I know people might feel away.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a real thing. Like, you're going to feel away. You're going to be angry. You might not necessarily think as logically or as real about it. And it's like, we can't do it. We can't do it. Now, I can't speak on his personal situation, but when you asked, is the mother doing above and beyond, I had shit that I wanted to say, but I'm not going to say that. Like, you could, we gonna get the button soon where you could hit the big cap, because I would have hit that button on myself. Like, I had shit that I was like, hold up, nigga, hold up. But that's where we push into a certain level of like, damn, that's like some ultra personal business.
All right.
But realistically, I feel as though if I am with a woman, I am not gonna let her have my baby. And when I say let, I only have but so many choices to where I can make that decision.
Patriarchy take part 1. Let's get it, nigga.
But I only have so many decisions. I mean, I only have so many ways to go about influencing that outcome, right? I can say, yo, I know my baby mom. She's super cool. Everything is good. And I trust her. She's smart. She's loyal. She's helpful. She's going to be a great mother to my child. I can trust her. But I'm different in the sense that I'm not gonna have unprotected sex with the girl that I know I have certain feelings for, and I'm willing. Like, all right, for example, he would agree to this here because like he straight up said this before. I thought they just popped up pregnant out of nowhere, whereas he was like, well, yeah, like, what you mean? Like, I knew it was going to happen. It's like, yeah, like, I always knew if I was going to have a baby, like, she was going to be the baby mom and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, so this was a decision. Not to say you consciously decided, but this is a woman you had a relationship with and you decided to have unprotected sex with, and a baby. What? Oh, I don't think that was a lie.
Let's not go too deep into it when he's not here. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
No, all right. So I'll say this. You know that was going to happen. So when you get put in certain situations, you got to ask yourself, and not even focusing on them. It's like, were you in a place where you were ready to comfortably have the child? Comfortably. Not where you got to still deal with certain bullshit. When I have a child, I want to be in a relationship with my baby's mother. I would like to live in the same house, if not the same town. as my baby's mother. I would like to have a closer, more honest, and easygoing relationship opposed to relationship where there tends to be more friction. And that is the difference, where it's like accountability versus decision making, and then taking accountability for your decision making. Because if you just do certain things, but you say it is what it is, I can accept that. That's
Man,
accountability
look,
to a certain
nigga,
point.
this all boils down to my fucking slogan. I refined this shit,
What?
nigga. If you don't want a mindset that is defeatist, stop it at the fetus. Nigga,
Hey.
bars, nigga. Yo, that's fucking bars, nigga. And that's facts, nigga. It's like, nah. But like, well, not it's like, nah. But like, dog, I get what you're saying. I definitely
Yeah.
hear. Like, I get the
Yeah.
double. I feel like the conversation did get too deep into the
It
personal.
definitely did, but this was, but it was a whole double standard on multiple levels within that one conversation. I do feel like we did get too caught up in that particular aspect of the children, but that's one of those double standards that really piss me off personally. As a childless citizen, I am not currently a family man. I am not ready to have a family.
Yeah, you're far from a ladies' man.
But whatever, fuck you. But the whole point being, I don't plan on having children no time soon.
Facts, I feel that.
wanna-
How old are you?
Me, I'm turning 26 in December, bro. I'm slowly getting up there. But I want to have my own crib in my own name. I want to have a better car. I want to have health insurance. I mean, I have health insurance now. I want to have life insurance. I want to have savings. I would like to have a certain amount of expendable income.
For the most part, I want that everything you're saying.
Like
For the
in
most
a
part,
perfect world, right? And like I say this from time to time, whereas I don't.
how do you?
believe-
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
I'll just say I don't believe in. Oh, back up just a teeny bit from the mic, but I don't believe in love in the more common sense of the term anymore, based on learning about male female nature, understanding things a little bit clearer.
Rational male.
Shouts out to Rollo Tomasi, but I still want a connection. I feel like intimacy is still a thing, and you can find people you're compatible with. You can find people who fulfill certain things that you desire, and who you fulfill certain things that they desire. And if you trust in a person, you can have a child and have a successful dynamic to where you could raise your child.
How do you feel about niggas that don't want kids?
I feel no way about them. That's their choice.
How do you feel about it personally, though? It's their
Personally,
choice.
Yeah, it's their choice. I don't care. I mean, like, look, men can literally live their whole lives and find fulfillment outside of having a woman or children, whereas women are more inclined to find fulfillment in having family and children. So that's different. Like you can have a man that literally works from the age of 15 to 95, creates $1 billion company, and die a virgin, but that nigga is fulfilled. Did he do everything he should have done or could have done? Nah, this nigga could have taken way more advantage of that shit.
But he
Shouts
did
out
what
to
he
Bill.
wanted.
But he fulfilled his
Shouts
purpose.
out to Bill, nigga.
But nah, Bill Gates.
Melinda! I
Chill,
sent in them
chill.
DMs,
We
nigga.
peeking over there. We peeking.
My bad.
man.
Yo, you saw that, John Doe? You saw?
But-
Please, hold
but
up. Let me cut you off.
Hold up, let me just say this.
Can we be funny for a minute,
Bill,
bro?
Yeah, but Bill wasn't no goddamn virgin. This motherfucker had an ex-girlfriend he was going on vacation with once a year for the last
Facts.
20 years. So it's like
You saw
this
that one nigga slide in
you know
Melinda
he was
DMs
getting
though,
pussy.
bro. He said, Melinda. He said, look, I can't bring nothing to the table. Yo.
And that's facts, bro.
I take care of you.
and
I
that's
take
what it
care of
is,
you.
bro. Like niggas could fulfill their need to provide and to build and to do all these different things. We don't necessarily need that. Now, me, I want kids. I want my last name.
Let me ask you this
to
though.
prevail.
Let me ask you this
What's up?
though. How do you feel about? So I know, like, I feel like I'll preface it by saying this. What I'm about to say by prefacing it by saying this.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of our thoughts on male and female dynamics are attributed to famous people, right? I wholeheartedly do. I feel like a lot of people formulate. I'm not saying you. I'm actually saying like a lot of people though formulate their opinions of male female dynamics based upon like famous people. Like how often do we hear it? Like we saw everything across the spectrum of cheating when Jay-Z got caught and shit like that.